I would argue that out of everything you can look at inside Google Ads, is that intent is probably the most important thing you need to make sure you have on point. Because you can have the most perfect ad and perfect landing page in the world, but if the intent of the person searching for your ad just isn't there, then there's no chance of that person converting into a lead. And what we mean by intent, first of all, is that we firstly think about our keywords. And with our keywords, we just want to make sure that they are specific to the product or service that we're offering and that they clearly indicate that the person searching for that keyword is likely to be looking to get the job done. For example, gutter cleaning here, if somebody searches for gutter cleaning, then they're likely looking to get their gutters cleaned. And if they see an ad that's specific to gutter cleaning, then they're likely going to resonate with that because it matches up exactly with what they search for. And then all they need is that if they click on the ad is to be brought to a relevant landing page that is also specific to gutter cleaning where they can fill out a simple form or just call directly if they're interested. But on the other hand, then searches like how to clean guttering are something that you'd imagine are less likely to be of somebody looking to get the job done, but somebody that wants to learn how to do the job themselves. Which is why you would say in this case that this search term is of low buying intent and why it's added as a negative at the broad match level to this campaign. And so you most likely know that high buying intent keywords are those that are relevant to the service that you offer, and that low buying intent keywords are those that might be from somebody looking to just know what the price is, trying to figure out how to do the job themselves, or some other informational based search, or even if they're searching for your competitors, and that you would know not to add a keyword, for example, how to clean guttering, to a gutter cleaning ad group in the first place. But with the way Google Ads keywords and match types work, is that it's still very easy to appear for a lot of these irrelevant searches with low buying intent, regardless of the actual keywords that you add at the very beginning, which we'll also go through in this video. But first of all, just to show you how to make sure you're actually finding your high buying intent keywords in the first place, is that you go to Google's keyword planner when you're inside your Google Ads account. And firstly, just select the area that you're going to be targeting because for any service based business, you don't want to be targeting the whole country because you're not going to be serving that area. So you want to make sure you're targeting keywords that actually have searches inside the area that you're targeting. So we'll just leave this as Ireland for now. But let's just stick with the gutter cleaning example. We can add in, for example, gutter cleaning and gutter cleaning near me. And once you've entered in a couple of search terms then that are relevant to the service that you offer, you just press get results. And now we're not going to go into any detail on, the keyword research or keyword planner, tutorial inside this video. It's simply just about, high buying intent. And so just to show you a few examples of keywords that you would add in this case is that gutter cleaning, for example, is fine because while near me, is definitely more high buying intent, is that gutter cleaning is still relevant to the service of gutter cleaning itself. So you'd still consider it to be a high buying intent keyword. Whereas on the other hand, things like gutter cleaning costs you might consider to be low buying intent and not want to add to your campaign. Or else something like this, copper gutters is obviously something that wouldn't be high buying intent either because it's someone looking for, the gutter itself. And if you added this to a gutter cleaning ad, then, it's very unlikely that they'd result in a lead for what you want. But then on the other hand, something like gutter cleaning service would be considered high buying intent and is an example of a keyword that you can add to your campaign. Same with gutter cleaning services near me, but anything that mentions something like in my area, near me, are considered high buying intent keywords and are usually the best ones to add to your campaign. Now, you might also wonder as well, but what about, if these high buying intent keywords have high competition and a higher cost per click, for example? But those metrics, are something I wouldn't necessarily avoid, even if the competition is higher on those better keywords, is because there's usually a reason why these keywords have a high competition and a higher cost per click, is because these are the best performing keywords in the first place. And you shouldn't be worried about competition as long as you're able to write relevant ads and have a relevant landing page for that keyword, then you're most likely going to perform a lot better than your competitors by doing that alone. Because a lot of your competitors aren't going to take the time to group all of your keywords into separate ad groups and have separate landing pages for those ad groups, as we'll go through as well in just a moment. But what you can also do as well to get an idea of intent from the beginning is just type in an example of a keyword that you're not sure about, and you can tell from the results that appear is that if the results are from similar companies offering similar services to you, then it's most likely a good keyword to target. Whereas if you enter a low buying intent keyword, for example, then you're most likely going to get a lot of, maybe tutorial videos and other results that would be typical for someone that's not actually looking to get the job done themselves. And this can be really useful as well for very specific services. Because, for example, we have a campaign that we had to just set up recently for a flat roofing waterproofing company where they apply a really specific system to commercial roofs to help waterproof the roof. And we wanted to see, for example, because the name of the system was, Lava 20, and we put in roofing after that. And we thought that this would be a good keyword to use at first. But then once we noticed is that when we tested out this keyword, we noticed that a lot of the results were actually, for the product itself. And if we didn't check that in advance, then we'd be getting a lot of clicks on our ads from people that are actually just looking to buy the product, but we're only interested in, leads that are actually looking to get the job done. So it's just another great way that you can use to, identify the intent. Now, what you can do is that once you've used Google's keyword planner to make a list of high buying intent keywords that you're going to target, is what I'd recommend doing for any brand new campaign, especially at the very beginning, is actually using exact match keywords, unlike what we have here with phrase. The reason being is that you're going to have very minimal irrelevant search terms appear in your search terms report. So if you come to your search terms report and you're using exact match keywords, then you're most likely not going to have to add, a ridiculous amount of negatives for search terms that aren't relevant to what you offer. But what you can also do as well, regardless of even if you decide to use phrase match keywords at the very beginning or even exact match, is what you can also do to really minimize the amount of irrelevant and wasted spend you get, is to just add a big list of broad match negatives in advance. And what you want to do here is gather a list of words that regardless of the context, you just don't want to appear for. For example, how to avoid those DIY searches, how much to avoid those cost searches, and so on. And anything else here, like these words that indicate low buying intent, for example, cheap, supplier, ideas, what is, do it yourself, cheapest, low cost, low price, and so on. You can go to your search keywords and go to negative search keywords and just simply add these as broad match negatives to your campaign. And if you add them like this without any brackets or quotation marks around them, they'll be added as broad match negatives automatically and mean that any search terms that contain any of these words won't show your ads. And that's going to massively filter out the amount of negatives you're going to have to add over time in your search terms report. And not only these low buying intent words as well, but also if you have any competitors in your area that offer the same service as you want to make sure you add those as broad match negatives as well. Because if you're using any even phrase match keywords, for example, you'll notice that you are going to appear for competitor names as well. So simply adding these as negatives in advance is going to massively reduce the amount of low quality traffic you're getting, and also more importantly, eliminate any wasted spend too. And what you can also do as well from an intent perspective is that once you have, your list of keywords gathered, is that you want to split them up and have them tightly themed based on intent as well. So, for example, in this campaign, it's really simple because the company offers multiple services, and you'd have all your roof repair keywords in one ad group, your gutter cleaning ad keywords in one ad group, and so on. But let's just say you were offering something generic, more so like plumbing or just roofing in general, then you still want to go through that list of keywords and see where you can split them up and based on intent. For example, if you target multiple locations, then you can split them up at the location level. And you can simply go as far as having, a near me based ad group, a quality based ad group for those that are looking for, best company near me, and anything you can do to be able to write more relevant ads than your competitors, it then is worth doing, because if you're able to write an ad that matches up exactly what the person is searching for, then you're simply going to get the click over your competitors that have less relevant ads to what they search for. So, like, let's just stick with the gutter cleaning example as a really simple example, as what we mentioned already. If somebody searches for gutter cleaning, where every keyword in that ad group is highly related to gutter cleaning specifically, then they're highly likely going to click on an ad that has gutter cleaning specifically mentioned in all of the headlines and descriptions, and also a lot more likely going to either call or fill out a form on a landing page that is highly specific to gutter cleaning too, by making sure that that is the core theme of your headline, which is why going to the effort of having a separate landing page for every ad group is going to massively improve your overall conversion rate as well, because the intent is there from start to finish, and whatever the person searches, they'll get an ad that matches with what they searched, and they'll also get brought to a page that it matches exactly with what they clicked on. So it's a very seamless process from start to finish, and you're just making it as easy as possible for them to get in contact once they land on your landing page. And another point worth mentioning about your ads as well is that you want to use the space you have in your headlines and descriptions to be really clear about what you offer as well. Because if you have vague ad copy that doesn't really specify what you offer, then that could lead to a lot of wasted spend that would have been saved by pointing out clearly what you offer. And that way, you're going to get a lot more traffic from those that are likely to get in contact with you. And at least then, if your ads are appearing for irrelevant search terms, that they're less likely to be clicked on if you make it extremely clear that this is what you offer, and that there's no indication that you actually offer the other thing that they're not looking for at all. So if the keywords in your ad copy are all gutter cleaning related, you just want to have really service specific headlines and descriptions as well, just to make it clear that we don't offer tutorials on how to clean gutters, for example, and that this is the service that we offer. Just to make sure that we're getting as much interest as possible from those that are actually likely to convert. And lastly, as well, to make sure that the intent of your traffic is high, is that you want to review your search terms report every week by going to search terms and looking through your search terms to make sure that the actual searches that your ads appeared for are all relevant. And if you need to add more negatives, then do so if your ads are still appearing for irrelevant searches. And at the same time, as well, you might get more ideas on new keywords to add based on relevant search terms that you see. But the search terms report is where I'd recommend checking, at least twice every week just to make sure that the traffic you're getting is highly relevant. Now, if you do have any questions about anything we've talked about in this video regarding intent or anything else related to Google Ads in general, feel free to leave a comment down below. And if you are running Google Ads for your own company and looking to improve the results you're currently getting, feel free to have a look at the link in the description down below. And if you do like this Google Ads related content as well, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as we'll be posting all things related to Google Ads here daily. And hopefully we'll see you in the next video.